No lead up.
Just jumping right into it.
Just gonna go right into it. Okay,
Bump,
fair
bump,
enough.
bump, bump. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Uh,
It really is a Phil Collins take a look at me now kind of feel going on.
how's it going, Brandon?
Uh, you know, somewhere between Susudio and Against All Odds. You know, it's
When I get there, another man hear me near. They'll take a look at me now.
I can't figure out what the hell I'm supposed to be doing during the day now. Like, it's weird.
Are you practicing your finger exercises to get ready for when we're getting together so we can get the band back together?
No, man, I'm like actively trying to get a few things done around the house so that I can fight depression, so that I can enjoy things, to be able to actually play guitar. Like I can't get in a good enough headspace to even go pick that thing up behind me.
Oh,
Nevertheless, the other two on the wall.
Oh, man.
So like it's a whole headspace game right now.
Well,
like,
hold on. Go over there and pick it up. Pick it up right now. Pick it up right now.
What?
Just pick it up right now.
What? This? Yes, this.
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah,
Right here?
give me a good GCD, the good old classics,
Okay.
the GCD. Yeah.
I mean, like it works. Like, don't get me wrong.
Nice.
Like it all works.
Yeah.
I like the muscle memory's there. Don't get me wrong. That's not the issue. It's
but are the calluses there?
The calluses are not there yet. But I did bother to restring my regular acoustic with proper strings, so I'm not running those nylon jobbies.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and the other day, was maybe like middle of last week or something like that, I did break out. I've got a thing. If anyone's curious, it's called Amplify, Amplifi.
Yeah.
That is a like desktop style. I'm trying to think of what it would be. I guess it's more like an amp head at that point.
Yeah, it's like
but what it has the ability to do is broadcast Bluetooth. So you can plug in headphones to it, or you can hook up Bluetooth headphones to it, but you can also hook up an app and then basically set your phone and use its it's made by Line 6, so it's a reputable company and everything else like that. And the idea is it will take music from bands that you recognize, AC/DC, Foo Fighters, so on and so forth. And if they recognize what the song is or the band, they will set up your guitar tone to be very similar.
Oh, bitch.
So if you want to play AC/DC, you can literally just search for either AC/DC or You Shook Me All Night Long or Dirty Deeds or what have you. And you can select either rhythm or lead, so you can have either Angus or Malcolm's guitar as your tone setup.
That's fucking awesome.
And then, it's fucking rad. And then be able to play the music via your phone through the head right into your ears along with your own guitar playing. So you can play alongside your existing stuff and figure out how on you are or what have you in a very confined space. And the idea is, the thing is, honestly, like it's not much bigger than, it's maybe a loaf of rye bread, like not even a full loaf of bread.
Oh, fucking cool.
Like it's surprisingly small. It's lived on my desk forever. And it's pretty straightforward, and it's got, your regular, it's got multiple settings and reverb and a treble and the whole nine. And then it's got individual settings that you can, you can program an EQ into it. And
dude,
it's intuitive that way.
Dude,
it's
sounds
pretty
amazing.
rad. I go ahead.
Can you use it as an interface? Like, can you, can you record with it into like an audio program? Like, I guess you have GarageBand. Could you record into GarageBand, like plug into your computer with it?
I mean, I don't see why not. It has a line out, so I assume whatever comes out of it can be recorded like any other amp.
Dude, that's
so. I mean,
rad.
And I have used it in conjunction with my practice amps, where I daisy chain my practice amps together, and then set that head on top of it and set it up and had it where I've had both amps like set up behind me and had the thing on the table and like ran everything and had it actually going. And like when I first did it, I need to get another I have an old school thing that was a Christmas gift forever ago where I actually have one of the vocalizer tubes.
Oh yeah, the
I'm trying to remember what the hell the name is. But
talk box.
Well, yeah, it's kind of I guess it is a talk box. If anyone's curious, like what I'm talking about, it's the thing that Peter Frampton uses. It's the thing that comes up in right. Yeah, it's the thing that shows up on the Bon Jovi songs and what have you. And like right, and the idea is you set up a microphone, you set a line from the microphone to an amp, and essentially the idea is that the line, you know, what your guitar playing does is it goes into this box and then it feeds this sound up through a like rubberized tube and then literally plays the sound outside of the like through the tube and blasts it into your mouth, and then basically you swallow the microphone and then use the shape and size of your mouth to change the tone that happens through it.
Hell yeah.
And it's kind of fucking rad, honestly.
That seems amazing.
Yeah, I've only done it the once, but I did actually like daisy chain everything and set everything up together and have everything set up in, like, sequence. Right, yeah.
I wonder what it sounds like with an acoustic guitar. It's just like
disappointing.
Oh no.
Totally disappointing. Yeah, no, you need a ton of overdrive with that sort of thing. Like you need to turn that like Echoplex stadium level reverb on where it sounds like it bounces off of a goddamn arena.
Yeah.
You need 70s like REO Speedwagon style guitar. Like as much reverb as possible. Just turn it way the fuck up and then just let it bounce off of every possible thing. Rip all of the foam and everything else like that off your walls. You want to bother everyone with this noise.
I mean, I think it sounds like you found something to do in the morning.
Yeah, well, part of the problem right now is that tube. Well, that tube is dead. Like it's dead. Yeah, they dry rot over time. In all fairness, like it was a Christmas gift from like maybe 12 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So like on the plus side, the electronics inside still work great. So you know, big ups to them. But yeah, after a while, those tubes kind of die. So I'm going to have to get a replacement tube for it. And with everything going on, that's not happening.
Yeah. I'm thinking like in those years since Frampton dropped it,
came alive.
Yeah. Someone must have made like a digital equivalent at some point.
I'm sure there are digital equivalents to it, but I think if you want the tone, you want the tone.
Yeah.
And much like, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this, much like a proper piece of woodwork or, you know, a piece of art or a forged piece of metal or a weapon or what have you, sometimes things just take the right tools and the craftsmanship required for it, and you can't digitally cheat your way through it. You can find one that's maybe as good, and yeah, I'm sure there's a possibility of it, but given that honestly it's essentially a stomp box with a tube, I don't exactly see the reason to reinvent the wheel.
That's true. I just know that like digital technology has gotten to the point where like amp simulators, unless you're like a tone douchebag, Joe Schmo off the street cannot tell the difference between a digital Marshall and an actual Marshall. So I'm thinking I gotta think someone out there has done this. And of course, after we get off this, I'm going to go research. In fact,
I'm sure you're going to find something. Yeah. Like the reality of it is that the only thing that I can think will.
I have my Pro Gear Sweetwater catalog right here. If you order a set of strings from Sweetwater, not only will they assign you your very own Sweetwater engineer who will call you on the fucking phone and ask if you need help, but they will send you this catalog And
No.
I love this
No,
catalog
no.
because it has all these tempting things. But also, if you ever need like packing material, you just rip out pages and crumple it up and do that
Right,
stuff.
right, yeah. Like what you're telling me is Sweetwater is the U line of the music world, where you
They
end up
are.
getting catalogs way too often
Yeah.
for things that you're never going to order, and you could just use a website like an adult.
But Brandon, you get these great photos of the PRS Silver Sky, which is not a Stratocaster. It's a Stratocaster, but you get
It's a
these
Stratocaster.
giant
Stop it.
photos.
It's a fucking Strat. Stop it. Like, genuinely, stop this. Like, you're better than this. Also, you were the one who was telling me about, like, some online company. What was it? Orange something or other, or whatever it is?
Yeah. Orangewood,
yeah,
I think.
like Orangewood, right? Who make beautiful acoustic guitars at like half the price of some of the other major manufacturers. By the way, not an official sponsor, but I would love them to be.
Yeah.
But you have the audacity to send me links of companies that are definitely not in that catalog, and then at the same time be like, "But look at this catalog!" Like, don't do that. You're like every one of my super technical buddies who shows me like one of those old school McMaster car catalogs.
Yeah.
And they're gorgeous. But who needs that?
Well, yeah. I mean, when we're able to actually see each other and practice with each other, I want to get one of those orange woods because that's what we need for this project.
Oh, I know. No argument whatsoever. I think it's got to be one of those things where like we got to figure out we got to nail that list down. Like I think we need like 3 songs that we need to agree on to buckle down on and really get serious about, and then we've got to do some sort of like non-podcast Zoom meeting thing or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm out of practice. I'm feeling disconnected from the world. I'm sure like everyone else. Everyone else is like fucking duh. But yeah, like it's rough, Jamie. It's hard out there.
Well, I could put you on our schedule. Like we have a schedule now where we chat with one of our friends who has a kid, and Audrey reads stories to them. And then Hazel's grandparents on Audrey's side, and then my grandparents, and then her cousins. So like we have a whole rotation of people that we do FaceTimes with, and I could just fit you in because like
I think we might have to do something like that.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Honestly, I want to get on the story reading one because frankly, like I'm just doing that just seems fun. Just settle it in with a good book and.
Yeah, and Audrey's also set up like on Tuesdays. That's why we changed our recording night. Tuesday evenings, she meets with her friends, and then Sunday evenings we do movie night. So it rotates. Each couple picks a movie.
See, that's cool. Like man, I got to be clever about that.
I mean,
it's funny because like I realize now that in this post art fight world that you and I are living in now, you'd be like, yeah, I need to go hang out with my friends online. And it was like, you are. You are. Of your friends who will participate online, you're looking at them. That's it. I got Jamie. That's the new normal. Realizing this.
Yeah,
coming to grips with it.
I mean, I think we could probably rope Dan into it too.
Probably good.
But like, I discovered that soon after.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's not go down that rabbit hole. You know what I realized we haven't done?
What? We haven't introduced the show. That was our cold opening.
Done an introduction. I know.
Well,
what happens when Jamie just presses the button? Jamie Noguchi, tell him who we are.
We are the fucking Do It Cast. We are part of the Hard Knock Media podcasting umbrella. That's NOC, Nerds of Color. So check it out. You got the URL above and below. If you're listening on audio, it's hardknockmedia.com, where you can see the entire lineup of the Nerds of Color podcasts. They're all amazing. They all have insightful things about culture, entertainment, and then you have us, where it's basically me and Brandon shooting the shit for a while. So
yep,
it's amazing.
Talking about food porn and sad guitars. That's what we're doing here.
So once your brain has been stimulated and challenged, you can come to us. We're like the junk food of the podcasts.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Like when you're tired of dining on fine like Michelin star cuisine, you come to us to get a sloppy, greasy burger. That's the way I think of it.
Yeah. Like, please understand, we are the gas station beacon of food. We're the Wawa podcast. We're the Sheets of podcasts. I'm not saying you're going to get a bad meal, but it's not going to be a smart choice.
Yeah.
Like, you're flipping through just digital pages of like, you know, I didn't really think of pepperoni as a topping, but, you know, I'm going to explore how far this pulled pork sandwich can go. Let's go ahead and do this.
We're that questionable red pickle sausage that you get at the gas station.
No. That's just Jamie. That is literally just Jamie. It's got questionable packaging. You know you shouldn't eat it. When you eat it, everyone around you will look around going, "Bro, you all right?" Like,
have you ever eaten one of those, Brandon?
No, I've watched you eat one. Like,
good.
Please understand.
They're kind of good.
I have dined on muskrat voluntarily and will not eat that pickled fucking pink sausage that you get at a gas station. Like, because I know how often they get. They only make 26 of those a year. Only 26.
That's why I'm so strong.
Right. That's why you're so right. Like, that's the reality of it. Genuinely, they make 26 of them a year. Jamie's responsible for the digestion of 7 of them. He eats 9, only digests 7.
Yeah. You don't know where that other one went. It just kind of floats.
No, I understand what it does. Like, I'm relatively convinced that's how you've managed to power through so many projects, is because you actually have like nuclear waste in your stomach.
It's just like...
Right? Yeah. It's every time you start to feel like a little like, oh man, I need a thing. What you're doing is saving the rest of us from a nuclear meltdown.
I do it for the culture. I do it for the people.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Somebody gets a Geiger counter up on your ass. It's going to just be nothing but clicks and screams just everywhere. Yeah.
All right, Brandon.
Yeah.
What are you geeking on in this, our 69th episode?
You can't do that. Like, I'm racking my brain trying to figure it out, and you're like, in our 69th episode. Like,
nice.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. What am I geeking on? So, I've been doing a couple things. One, I've been watching what I have heard other people on the internet refer to it as sanity porn by rewatching West Wing.
Yeah, my parents are doing that.
Yeah. Just for a bit of like, things are okay. Been doing a lot of YouTube lately. Been going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole of YouTube.
Oh yeah.
What, getting
any
into
specific
some
ones?
So there's a couple of things. One that I have sung the praise of before, a brand called Hoonigan. They do car racing stuff and everything else like that. They're doing a whole experience where they usually would all be together in their centralized space. They would create media content. They would work on cars. They would do projects. They would do television shows, what have you. Now they're all having to work separately from home. So they started a new series on their channel called Home Wreckers. Home Wrenchers. That's what it is. Where they're at home in their garages across the country working on their project cars and essentially trying to inspire you to be like, hey, look, stay home, stay safe. now's the time, if you've got it, to start working on these projects, and they're trying to kind of motivate everyone else to do the same.
I have a question.
Yes.
So there's a car in our neighborhood that is black and red, and it has a Hoonigan on the side of it. Is that a fan of the show, or is there a car? Okay.
No, that is 100% a fan of the show. The idea of Hoonigan is a brand. It's a life brand. I've seen this all over the place.
Yeah.
If anyone's curious what I'm talking about, either you probably know really well or you don't. Search Ken Block or Gymkhana car. Gymkhana is a whole video series that they did. They also had an Amazon show that was Emmy nominated for shooting their newest Gymkhana video. Hoonigan is the brand version of that. They do t-shirts and hoodies and all sorts of stuff like that, and then video content where they go out and they shoot videos for car magazines and or manufacturers and or their own content, what have you.
Cool.
And it's a pretty rad sort of experience. So I've been going down like a rabbit hole of experiencing the late night shows, and their at-home broadcasts have been a whole experience for me.
Yeah.
And then getting into some weird stuff, like I discovered is a strong word. It popped up on a suggestion. I had never heard of him before. He's a comedian out of Australia called Randy Feltface, and it's a guy who has a purple puppet who delivers a regular comedy act, but in the best kind of way. Right, yeah, because it's a Muppet acting as if he's a whole thing. So, like, him talking about being sober now, and there's probably the best thing you want to do as an example. It's about a 20-minute video, give or take. It's definitely worth watching. Is Randy buys a bookshelf off of a website called Gumtree. So if you search, like, Randy Bookshelf Gumtree on YouTube, it'll pop up. And he tells a story about buying a bookshelf from a guy, and the whole premise of, like, the guy, you know, him assuming something about the guy, but the guy also being like an enigma of a texter where he's like very specific about one thing, but then just immediately shorthands everything else. And he's like, I don't know what this guy is. And then a whole story ensues afterward where he talks about getting his face split open and what have you.
Oh my God.
But at a certain point, again, we're talking about a fucking puppet. Like, just right. So
I was like, holy shit.
Right. And then you suddenly remember that the person telling you this story is a purple felt puppet, and it being very, very good with him, you know, kind of doing the thing in the beginning of like, look, this is not for children. So please, if there's anyone under the age of 18, I can't fucking see you, but know that you should leave.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Yeah, like, I have eyes, these are plastic, and him, like, slapping his own face.
Oh, man, that sounds awesome.
So that's been really good. So I've been kind of going down a rabbit hole of that, and then trying to find other things to watch on Netflix. I haven't dug into Tiger King yet.
I refuse. I refuse.
You refuse? Interesting. Like, I think at a certain point, I refused to jump in initially because I was like, I don't really care that much. Because anything that everyone gets fucking pumped about, I lose interest.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if this is some sort of like, I'm sure what this is some fucking hipster shit where I'm just like, the mainstream likes it, fuck that. But I don't know. Like, I'm sure it's good, but I just haven't dug into it yet.
No.
So just trying to kind of dig through a whole series of yada yadas.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's been basically what I've been geeking on, is just trying to find content to keep me interested in things. The other thing I've been doing is my girlfriend and I are moving in together earlier than we had initially planned. I think I mentioned this on a previous episode.
Nice.
So been helping her kind of redo and move everything and yada yada. So like, I don't know if you can see the camera or whatever it is, but I actually moved her entire office in.
Oh, wow.
So we gotta unpack all of this. Right. So we're going to share our office space together.
You have a co-working space.
Yeah, we basically set up a co-working space. So it's been that. So like, we got her office stuff in here. We have to set it up. I moved a bunch of stuff as far as like clothes. So like, we got basically her bedroom moved out of her place that she has with a roommate. But we have till like the end of the month of April to get everything out of there. So at a certain point, like it's going to be playing musical furniture and what have you. And then the sudden realization hit me the other day that we're in social distancing time. I've managed to secure a truck.
Oh.
But I had a sudden realization that I'm going to basically be moving myself because I love her dearly, but she doesn't have the best back. And I can't willingly put her in a position. And I know at some point along the way, I'm going to be throwing a sofa up on my shoulder and walking it through that front door.
Oh, bitch.
And suddenly realizing like there's a sofa, there's an entertainment center, there's a couple of, there's a dining table. I'm basically going to end up having to strongman this stuff out. And I got to figure out a creative way to do it because thanks to all this stuff going on, I am currently out of work and currently uninsured. So I've got to be super smart about how I handle this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, big shout out to every fucking asshole who's like, hey, make sure you get on, the sign up for the insurance by the time. Not if you don't have fucking income. Like, I shouldn't have to decide between having my car repossessed or losing my house or having health insurance. Just throwing that one out there. So anyone who'd like to fight me in the parking lot, I'll gladly pay the most likely $6,000 to $40,000 of medical bills afterward. Fucking fight me. But the insurance setup right now is a whole goddamn experience.
You should
not go outside because I don't have health insurance.
No. You should give me a call when you need to move stuff because I will cover my body in Tyvek and I will help you
suffocate.
Move shit. I will sweat in the grossest shit to help you move this stuff. Like I will get one of those beekeeper outfits and like
right. Yeah. This is the funny thing that I realized, for all of the friends that we have and or had at the time, I could only get like a handful of y'all to fucking show up when I moved into the house in the first place. So the idea of me asking anyone to actually help move now, I'm not even gonna bother right now. I know better.
The week before the governor said like, shelter in place, stay at home and stuff. I went, Alex called me up because he was helping a friend move a couch. So I did that before quarantine. I will do that during quarantine. Right. Like you give me a call, I will show up in a hot box and I will help you. I got gloves. I will help you move things. Like I hate moving shit. Like I hated it when I was doing it with my stuff. So anytime anyone asks, I will be there because it is not fun.
No, it's not fun. It's that sudden realization of like, okay, it's a whole experience. I don't know, like, coming to grips with making all these decisions in real time and being like, hey, what's the smart financial call for the two of us and yada yada. Like, I don't know. It's a whole experience of, kicking myself of not preparing more, but then asking the question like, how the fuck does anybody really?
How do you anticipate this shit? Yeah.
How do you anticipate it? You make sure that you have enough put aside that you can basically spend a year sitting at home, not making any money. And I don't know anyone who reasonably can get divorced and do that.
No.
Yes. That's the reality of the situation is like, hey, so divorce, pay for the house yourself, cover all your bills yourself, go find a new job, go get a new job, be without insurance in between, wait for the start period to start up, decide whether or not you want to sign up for Cobra, make the decision that you're thinking about signing up for Cobra, get laid off. And then here we are. And you're like, do I have that sort of, no, of course I have thousands put aside.
Yeah, shit.
Don't you understand? Yeah.
Well, you fucking call me because I'll make this happen.
Yeah, like and please bear in mind, for as much as I'm bitching about this, I am very lucky in the sense that I have people like you and people like my buddy Phil who's helping me out, and my loving girlfriend Nicole, and I gonna get on the other side of this. I know everything's gonna be fine, all in all, but it's one of those like this is a very humbling experience for me of spending a lot of time, like dealing with all of that fun stuff and a whole thing of, God, what was it last week? Dealing with family drama that came with all of this, because of course now is the time where family, my father reached out and there's a whole fucking thing. Yeah. See, for those of you listening at home, Jamie just stopped, closed his eyes because he realizes how much of a clusterfuck that is, and then started shaking his head because he realizes, because Jamie, you understand, he's here for me and he wants to be here for me in this time of need and he wants to give me money, but I have to, sorry, let me double back. I'm my father, Jamie, you're me. Brandon, I want to, in this tough time, give you a gift of some money to help you through. Now, there's no strings attached, but you and I need to have a relationship. There's no strings attached at all. I'll just give you this money, but you and I, hang on. I need you to listen to me. I need you to understand that in this scenario, I'm the adult here, and I need you to know that we have to have a relationship.
That seems like a string that is attached.
What? No, I said no strings. You're so aggressive about this. You seem so angry about this, and I don't know what I did to get this anger from you, but I'm out here offering an olive branch. I'll drop it in your mailbox. But I think I have a right to know what's going on in your world. Don't you? Don't you think your father deserves to know what's going on, especially when he is offering you help with no strings attached?
Did you send him a link to the podcast? That's a relationship. It's a one-way relationship. I do a podcast and you get to listen. And I don't block your IP address. Holy shit, dude.
Now bear this in mind. I did block him on Facebook because I don't need that drama.
Yeah.
But the rest of my world is wide open. He can Google me. If he
for
wanted
sure
to actually know what's going on, he very much could find this.
Yeah, for
there's
sure.
No reason why he couldn't. It will require effort on his end, and he ain't gonna do that because logic, reason, a bit of a Google search, and okay, boomer. But
but that's a relationship. It's a one-way relationship. That's a relationship.
You know what? That's the one I'm okay with, and reasonably. Now, here's the most interesting part: is I have asked every member of my blood family that, respectfully for my own mental health, that if you call me at 3:00 in the morning and you say, I'm stranded by the side of the road, I couldn't get a hold of anybody, I need you to come get me, I won't ask questions. I'll get up, I'll find pants, I'll come bail you out. Whatever it is, I don't care what the financial hardship is. I don't care if it's changing a tire. I don't care if it's picking you up from the hospital or whatever it is. I'll do it. My dad, any one of my family, I'll absolutely do it without question. We don't need to have a conversation about it. And it won't be a thing that I'll give you a hard time about later. It'll be, hey, no problem. This is what family's for. I'm here. We're good. What I don't want is to have a friendship with you because you're toxic as fuck. And I've asked in no uncertain terms, I respect you, but I need you to respect me. And I need you to know that I need you to leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm not aggressive. I'm not calling anybody a motherfucker. I'm not throwing undue things around. I'm not calling you names. I'm not blaming you for things or anything else like that. I've acknowledged that I am unable to have a a chill conversation with you. We can't just shoot the shit because the second we are in a room, it's a creme brulee.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We can, emergency stuff, what have you. There was a death in the family. A couple months back. I showed up, made sure I was there, helped one of the family members, maybe possibly the one who happened to give me a hard time just recently, after he had a meltdown about how one of the other family members was laid to rest, even though it was part of their will. They didn't like that very much, and they decided to have a meltdown and scream at everyone. I managed to smooth everything over, get everyone back in the same room, try and chill everyone out. Weirdly, and this might be a petty thing of me, I was the only one in a suit at a funeral, which felt fucking weird, but that's whatever.
Yeah. It depends. It depends on the culture, I guess, because like
right,
when I die, I don't want anyone in a suit. I was like, you got to come comfortable.
I get that, and I think that's the difference of you and maybe a gentleman who is a respected traveler, high level corporate guy, really well respected in the community.
That sounds like a suit time.
It sounds like a suit kind of thing, especially when it's like, okay, you are a father figure, let's say, of the family. I feel like the suit's a sign of respect.
Yeah.
And when half of them couldn't bother to find anything with buttons, nevertheless, the one that I was most annoyed about not even being able to find clean black jeans, and I'm there in a suit, felt very weird.
You should not go to a funeral dressed like you're going to a podcast. This ain't funeral garb, y'all. It's not. Destiny's shirt ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
When you're laying down Mima, she doesn't care if you're a hunter or a titan.
I don't know. Anyway, so I was there for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't find out about this from my father, but whatever. I was there. I did my part.
Yeah. So you were telling me you don't want to be in a room where he's still calling you you're 36. He doesn't want you to call him.
Yeah. So it's one of those. We should probably state that we had the call drop out, so we're picking back up where we were. So I apologize if the edit seems a little hard or what have you.
For sure.
I'm not sure how we'll be able to edit
the video will look weird. The audio, you won't notice the difference.
Okay, sure. If you say so. Anyway, yeah. So it's one of those I don't want to be in a situation where I'm in a room with any of these guys. When my dad was going through his whole experience with substances and what have you, the other brothers, my uncles, two of them basically were like, well, why don't you just get the shit together and just take care of it?
Jesus.
For transparency's sake, so that everyone should understand, I dropped out of college for this. I almost went bankrupt twice to get him clean and straight and everything else like that.
God,
so, the idea of me being a little bitter about this whole process it's a bit of an understatement. But in turn, after a couple years of all of this, maybe the last 2 years, I decided I want to know part of it. And I made a real effort last year on Father's Day of taking my dad out and trying to bury the hatchet in the whole nine. And we were totally fine. Went to an Orioles game, got back on the ride back, started in with everything. And it went from, I really think that, you should open your world up to different things. Him trying to talk me into watching Fox News, which, political stuff, whatever, that's fine. To then telling me that I'm an idiot because I believe that Sandy Hook wasn't an inside job. And
Jesus.
Yeah. And me getting really frustrated about that. And then, basically blaming me for my mother leaving. And there's a lot of anger from both ends. And I was not okay. And we were done after that. And
Yeah.
it got very loud and a little physical, and it was not a good place for anyone to be in.
Yeah.
And I told myself then, I was like, that's it, we're done. And it got to the point where I got so tired of getting texted by my uncles that I just literally just had a conversation with one of them, like back in January, and just like, look, respectively, I'll answer the phone. Bad shit happens, but otherwise, I beg of you, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, for my own mental health, if you can respect me enough, that just leave me be. I'm not going to be aggressive at anybody. I'm not going to badmouth anybody. I'm not going to pick a fight with anybody or anything else like that. I just want to be left the fuck alone. Like, I want to be able to go off in the distance and have the crew of people that I've managed to keep together and call them family and be good with all of that, because I just don't seem to mesh with all of you. And I don't know if that's my doing or if it's your doing or it's a bit of both or whatever it is, but like I can't seem to not place a lot of the blame on you, and that's probably a shortcoming on my behalf.
Right.
And I haven't figured out how to squash that. So the smartest thing that I can do is not put myself in a situation where I'm screaming at people.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like the healthiest thing that I can possibly do for all parties involved. I don't think they want to be yelled at by me. I don't want to feel that way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need any of that.
Yeah.
So the idea of, while all of this is happening with the pandemic and what have you, that I'm being screamed at, and it's just like, you know what? Like,
God damn it.
I can't even threaten to punch anyone in the face, Jamie, because I have to maintain social distancing. You understand how fucking frustrating that is? That I have to actually risk infection to want to punch someone in the face. And
you stand
seriously,
across the street, and I'll stand here and I'll start chucking things at you.
I'm standing in my living room, holding my phone out from my head, not on speakerphone, just holding it out from my head and hearing the berating coming at me and looking at my phone going, I want to punch this motherfucker in the face. And then pause a second and realize you're not allowed. Like, even more so than regular, like, you could end up going to jail not allowed.
Yeah.
You're double not allowed. And being really aggravated about it, being like, no, click, hang up. And then the next day, from a different phone number that I hadn't blocked, get another call. And because I'm right, and bear in mind, because I'm out of work, I don't know who's calling me for whatever reason. So I'm concerned. Right. I'm applying for things, what have you. I don't know who's calling me, so I get a call from a number I don't recognize. It's in the right area code of being in Baltimore County where I live. Okay, so I answer the phone, and immediately we're right back off to the races.
I thought there were no strings attached.
Thank you.
These sounds like a lot of strings. Maybe ropes instead of strings.
You know, it's not. Yeah, that's really what it is. It's one. You know what it is? It's a fucking boat rope. It's the sort of thing that is designed to hold a 20-foot hauler around, like something with a fucking sail meant to tie you to fucking port.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No strings, you're 100% right. But there's a big-ass rope. No strings, but a rope.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reality of it. It's just like, I want to blame it on my ego not being willing to accept this quote-unquote gift. At the same time, like, yeah,
it's gonna shorten your lifespan, man. If it makes
it already has, though.
Yeah,
like, that's the thing.
Yeah,
reality is, what I should just do is take the berating, block all the numbers that come in, screen all my phone calls, and just take the money and run. But the problem is, motherfucker knows where I live.
Yeah,
and then we've got a whole other thing.
He's gonna want to show up.
At some point along the way, this thing's going to be over. And either I owe somebody money because there are strings attached, or the second social distancing is over, I got to chase somebody off my fucking porch.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's no good.
Why are people like this?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like
because I get the idea that in a crisis, right? And let's not pretend that's what we're all experiencing is a crisis.
For sure.
When people go into panic, you tend to see the best and the worst of people. That's been my experience. When you really start to squeeze people, you start to see who they really are, at the very least under pressure. And there is nothing wrong, and please bear this in mind, there's nothing wrong as far as I am personally concerned with someone protecting themselves.
Yeah.
You don't have to be, altruistic all the time. You don't have to give all the time or anything else like that. Hell, you don't have to give at all. I'd rather know that you're selfish and that you're going to only protect number one, because at least then I can work around this. Like, I'll know that, like, no, you're going to be fine over there. You're going to protect you.
Yeah.
Cool. Like,
yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But when things get bad and you use thinly veiled olive branches as a way to pull people in to your bullshit, like,
it's emotional blackmail.
What? Yeah, like it really is. Like, it's one of those, like, well, I can't be miserable around other people because I'm just not allowed right now, and nobody cares about me on Facebook anymore. So now I got to do something else. So then they start to reach out to the people who have gotten away from them, I guess is the kindest way to put that.
I feel like you were pushed away, though. It's not like you...
No, let's be clear. He wants me to be part of his orbit. Like, if I wanted that, I could be there with bells on. He'd love to talk to me every fucking day. That's a choice on my end. But as far as my own sanity is here, I can't see a reason to deal with that. And in full transparency, I've spoken to doctors about this. Like, I've gone to people to talk through this stuff, and the consensus that seems to be hitting every time is, do you have the ability to remove these toxic relationships from your life? It's like, yeah, I do. Yeah, some of them are going to be more expensive than others. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Like, no, we can do this. We can totally do this.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need to be around certain people.
Right, and sometimes also, like, and bear this in mind, this was an uncomfortable reality of leaving something like Art Fight, where I found myself arguing with people who I genuinely love and care about to this day about things that really weren't worth arguing and fighting about, because I was mad about a bazillion other things. And it's like, I got to start cutting things out so that I can get to the root of whatever it is, so that I can try and find some fucking calm water. Like, sea's way too choppy, and I think part of the problem is that I'm standing here rocking the fucking boat back and forth, causing the problem. Like, and it's not a sea, it's a goddamn bathtub. Like, I'm in a bathtub standing on a buoy. Yeah, and I'm just fucking rocking this thing back and forth, and then I have the audacity to go, why the fuck is this place so choppy? This water needs to calm down. It's like, no, son, you gotta, like, you have to take some personal responsibility. Yeah, and you have to stop rocking the boat. And once you stop rocking the boat, then suddenly you start to notice, like, motherfucker, that thing's moving around a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a whole lot. That's got to go.
Yeah. Or like, maybe I don't want to be over there no more.
Yeah. You know what? Turns out that port, while familiar, is a bad idea. Like, that's like...
Yeah.
I need to take a lesson from a one Jack Sparrow and just acknowledge that some places are just, they're not worth going to.
No.
Like,
No.
I gotta collect my bottles and grab my hat and fucking haul ass out of there, like, because somebody's got to lean into my, like, somebody's got to hop on my boat and lean into me drunkenly and go, it's a bad idea, savvy. And just be like, yeah, you know what? I do savvy. I do. I fucking savvy.
Let's take the vote this door.
Right. Yeah. Like, yeah. I need to use all of the experience of all of the really influential people in my world, and which are mostly pop culture and friends who bother to yell at me because they're not actually afraid of me, and just trust in their guidance and just know that they're like, you need to get the fuck out of there. Like, right. Yeah. Like, I have to start acknowledging when somebody goes, hey, you all right? What they mean to say is, get out now. Run. I'm afraid that you're going to turn on me, so I'm going to sugarcoat the shit out of this, but do us a favor.
Leave.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Get out.
God, I wish someone, like, while I was having a conversation, like, you know, big group dinner or something like that, and they seen me kind of staring off into the distance, looking clearly miserable, I wish someone would have leaned into my ear and just went, run. Run right now.
We kind of did that at AwesomeCon that one time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Turns out. Yeah. Start doing that timeline.
Guy Fieri, be like, we're watching Guy Fieri. This doesn't feel good.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what? Guy Fieri isn't a bad guy.
He brings us so much joy.
He brings a ton of joy. He helps more small. Guy Fieri helps more small business per capita than any grant that could happen from a government loan. Like,
for sure. I mean, he puts a lot of small businesses on the map.
Tons of small restaurants and businesses and diners and what have you have gotten so much publicity and caused people that if they happen to be in another city and they're flying to, somebody goes out and they're like, hey, wait, I'm coming to Baltimore. There was a place I remember seeing on Triple D. And then them going to go to these places. Like,
yeah.
I ended up having animosity toward a guy with his greatest like foible is wearing flames and having frosted tips. And as someone who grew up in the age of nu metal,
yeah,
the idea of giving the members of Linkin Park a free pass but not Guy Fieri is just plain wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just it's wrong. Like, because Guy Fieri doesn't force me to listen to Crazy Town. Like, I don't have to listen to Butterfly over and over again. I don't.
No.
I don't have to go watching a Jay and Silent Bob movie again.
Yeah.
I don't. Like, he's not forcing me to do these things. All he's doing is going to a place and being like, hey, so I don't care for eggs, but the huevos rancheros at this place is fucking baller. So if you ever find yourself in Des Moines, and I'm like, I don't know when I'll be in Des Moines, but I've got a fucking checklist.
But that, yeah.
The second you go to a city, you're traveling to a city, the first thing you do is search food in that area. And there's a better than average thing. Right. If you see Guy Fieri showed on an episode of Triple D, this and this, and you're checking that YouTube clip and you're like, fuck, that guy looks like kind of a douchebag, but fuck, is that good? Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Like, I don't know where he became suddenly like Food Network's Nickelback and why he ended up getting that. But
I want that job. Like, I've been watching a lot of these food things and I'm like, we can do this.
We can totally do this.
We can do this.
Yes, like, genuinely.
But yeah,
the problem, like,
not now, but like, we can do this.
No, I mean, fuck it. You know what? I would love if that's the new series. I managed to sneak out on quarantine and I get takeout from the only places that are open and then do YouTube reviews in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're not allowed inside because of COVID-19, but let's talk about the takeout Huevos Rancheros at R&R Tequila here in Baltimore, and just
That'd be dope as fuck, man.
like Styrofoam Confessions or something like that, where it's just nothing but us talking about takeout food from places that are still open
Yeah.
who need a bit of a boost.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Like, you know what the terrifying thing is? What is Guy Fieri doing right now?
Sitting on a bunch of money in
Bunch of money,
Flavortown.
right.
Bunch of money in Flavortown.
Right, but think about this. His sons are home, right? Because they can't be in school right now.
Right.
So his kids are home. I assume he's married.
I think so.
I think he is. Let's assume he is. Let's assume that their relationship is probably pretty okay. He seems like a halfway decent guy, maybe a little obnoxious, but genuinely okay.
Yeah.
He's home. He can't go traveling around in his Camaro. He can't go running a supermarket sweep style show. He can't go hosting anything else. He's not able to have other people cook for him. So he's been traveling the country for years, being either in charge of a situation, having a team of people wait on him, or going to restaurants and having people feed him multiple times a day. I'm not even clear whether or not he enjoys cooking anymore. But right now, I have a feeling Guy Fieri is having the hardest time. Like, it's one or the other. He's either having the hardest time coming to grips with the idea that he, a formerly top-known chef, has to re-fall in love with cooking again and have the hardest people judging him, which are his family.
Right.
Or he has to suddenly just lean into it and go and get just beyond bowling shirt fat. Because the only places that, like, because you got to figure, like, if you found out that your restaurant is close to Guy and you can make something from his menu or whatever it is, I'd be sliding into his DMs with the quickness. I'd be like, yo, Guy, I found out that, your place is only like a mile and a half from me. I'll make you anything you'd like. I'll have it hand delivered to you. You can just Venmo me cash and we'll just work on some sort of credit thing. I'll feed the whole family.
Yeah.
I'd float my business on feeding Guy Fieri.
Oh, yeah. Because that guy can.
Right. I have to assume that guy can eat. He's got, I think, 2, maybe 3 sons, and they're college boys, so they can fucking eat. And the dude's got cash.
Yeah.
So, like, I gotta believe that somewhere out there, someone is genuinely making bank during this just off of Guy Fieri. Like, I have to. I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, the idea of him suddenly deciding that he is going to host a cooking show for himself is got to be painful.
Yeah, I imagine.
And like, I can't see him making food for the love of food anymore.
Well, yeah, and his kids aren't going to want like any fancy new wave stuff or anything like that, or anything fun to make. They're just going to want.
Hang on a second. Let's be clear here. Fancy and new wave. The dude's restaurant hosts a series of sauces led by the one and only donkey sauce. This guy is not exactly on the forefront of culinary technology. Like, there's no gas streaks happening in Guy's kitchen. Like, please know this.
Yeah. But I imagine if you're around food all day, the last thing you want to do is step into a kitchen and be cooking. Cause that's how you got to where you are.
Right. Yeah. I totally understand that. I remember watching, what is it, Ugly Delicious or something like that, where they were talking about, like, what do you eat when you get home? It's like, most nights when I get done a shift, a bag of popcorn is my dinner, and then I fall asleep. And it's like, that feels really sad. And then you realize, like, yeah, I get this though. Like, at a certain point, you don't want to spend 12 hours on a line cooking shifts and then go home and suddenly be like, well, you know what? I was thinking about turning in.
Yeah.
But I think the call of Asabuco is just it's a siren song from the kitchen. I'm going to get up. I know I only get 6 hours and cocaine can only do but so much for sleep. But fuck that order in the morning. I got to make me some oxtail. Like,
Yeah, it's probably simple shit.
Like, I have to believe that for a lot of these people, it's fucking like boxed mac and cheese and ramen.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want to. Now, it makes me wonder if at a certain point, if it starts to eat itself, and they're finally at the point now that where they've been out of work long enough that like they're getting a little ambitious.
We're making a risotto today with Cheetos.
Right, yeah, like Bobby Flay's scrolling Amazon for Asian cookbooks, and somebody has to get him away from his fucking computer. Like,
stop it, Bobby. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, Bobby. Stop it.
Right, yeah.
Stop it, Bobby.
But what is? Hey, hear me out. Southeast West.
Stop it, Bobby. Stop it.
Just hear me out.
Stop it, Bobby.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah. Like, hear me out. Hang on. Wait a second. Time out. Texas tie. Like, God. I can merge.
Bobby.
I can merge the cultures of Arizona.
Bobby.
Soft ass food. Right. And traditional Cambodian cuisine. Right.
God damn it, Bobby.
Right. Like, just hear me out, right? So I've managed to find this cookbook where I can kind of cobble together some Cambodian stuff, but instead of having all of the traditional vegetables from the region, I've replaced them with red cabbage, corn, and tortillas.
God damn it,
so
Bobby.
I think I've got this. I think I nailed it. So I took some tomato paste, right, and some red cabbage and corn, and I've made something called Not Your Mama's Kimchi, right? So hear me out.
Not Your Mama's Kimchi. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. And I could totally see people buying the fuck out of that at like a farmer's market.
No, God, it fucking hurts my soul.
That's hysterical. Oh my God.
Yeah, God damn it. Kids, we have to get back. Hear me now, okay? You have to stay inside so that we can get past this so Bobby Flay doesn't suddenly decide to start branching out his cooking skills.
Yeah, no, his burger place is fine. It's fine. It's great. It's great.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're at a dangerous precedent where he starts discovering other things that are Asian, and things are going to start taking a turn.
Don't do it, Bobby.
Like,
don't do it, Bobby.
Jamie, I hope you're ready for an entire Thai menu to pop up at Bobby's Burger Place that is only focused around a peanut sauce. That's it. That's the only guiding light.
Oh, shit.
Get ready for PF Flays.
I would eat that too. God damn it.
I hope you're ready for PF Flays. Like,
PF
I genuinely do.
Shit. I would hate it, and I would roll my eyes, and I would order the fuck out of it.
See, don't do this.
Look, Brandon. Look, Brandon. Being inside all day has made me go insane.
I know, but goddamn, don't do this.
Brandon,
you're better than this.
You and I purchased the network again on purpose because we've been inside.
Time out. Purchase is a strong word. Signed up for,
right?
Using a free trial, sure. But let's be clear, they already had my information.
Yeah, that's true.
A McMahon's on the goddamn cabinet.
Yeah.
The idea of them not having my info, fuck out of here with that. They got my info. Like, they know who I am. They're not confused. Yeah, believe me, there's a file on me somewhere that is like, doughy, bitchy wrestling nerd. Like, I've hit the trifecta of things that, like, I shouldn't. So long as I don't get into white nationalism, I'm completely fucking harmless as far as the government's concerned.
Yeah.
Like, we're good. You
don't have a Bullet Club shirt on, though.
No, because I'm a self-respecting adult.
Matt's group, when they went to that wrestling show, they all had Bungee Club shirts, like with like stuff from the game, and I was like, I kind of want that because that's awesome.
Don't do that. No. Did you just say that was awesome?
It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool.
No. No, you are an artist, sir.
There was the thorn, and then there was the last word, and
no,
there were like
hang on,
the Taken King and shit.
You're the one who had rallied against these pander-ass mashup shirts.
No, that's true. That's true.
So much so that you tried to go so far past the curve that you did mashups on mashups on mashups and somehow still didn't manage to pander the right way.
That's true.
And then you have the audacity to travel across the country and see some pander-ass shirts and be like, well, that's my demo. There's my Venn diagram, wrestling in Destiny.
Brandon, there was a skull and there were guns on it. Oh my god.
You know, Jamie, not since pickup trucks and Punisher logos have I seen a marriage so widely accepted as skulls, guns, and black t-shirts.
Skulls.
Yeah,
oh shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we've fuck it, let's just run long. So we had a topic today.
Did we?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
We have a topic.
I was thinking I drove this thing to a fucking home.
No, fuck
Here
it.
we go.
Who cares? Okay. It's going to be extra long for people to listen to because they need some extra long shit because it's the 69th episode. So we're making it extra long for the people.
Okay. No, right on. I get this. No, this makes sense. I did something self-servient. So I verbally masturbated. It's only fair that we give while we receive. So
exactly.
By all means, continue.
We are a giving podcast.
we are giving lovers. If there's anything you can say about the fucking Do It Cast, it's that we are very giving lovers.
Yeah. So you and I watched the WrestleMania this past weekend.
Giving's a strong word, and I'd like to caveat this right now. Jamie managed to actually segue his way into a wrestling conversation. I don't know how you managed to.
I'm a goddamn
your
genius.
Way into that.
I'm a goddamn genius. That's how.
Yeah. All right.
So
fair enough.
Wrestling has been strange these past couple weeks. I have not been watching any of the networks. I've not been watching any of the things.
Okay.
But they've been doing shows to empty seats, which makes it feel even more like a performance than it normally is. Like with an audience there, you can kind of pretend that the outcomes are not predetermined, that there's like the spectacle surrounding it. Without the audience, it loses something. Like
I think part of the problem though is so every week, for people who aren't watching, every week, the WWE, which is what we're predominantly talking about because we're segueing into WrestleMania, have been doing shows in their Performance Center, which is in Tampa, Florida. They do 3 shows out of this place. They do Raw, they do SmackDown, and they do an NXT show. So that is Monday night, Wednesday night, and Friday night. You see what would normally be live performances, but at this point now, to the best of my understanding, they have pre-taped everything. They're observing all of the stay-at-home orders right now. So to my understanding, they've been pre-taping a ton of stuff.
Yeah, they got to be running out soon.
Right, yeah. So like when this first started, it was one of those like, hey, so we can't have live shows for anybody. And when they did the first live show, or not live, but like when they did the first empty arena show, it was very tongue-in-cheek. And it was very like somebody ran up in the middle of like a match and caught somebody by surprise. And you hear one of the commentators go, I don't know how they managed to not see them. They must have snuck through the capacity crowd. And I, like a fucking child, laughed hysterically at this thought process. Because it's like, this is great.
Yeah.
Because to me, this is what wrestling should be, is it should be very over the top and fun.
It's kind of a farce anyway.
Well, I mean, it's not kind of a farce. It is a farce. And it's designed, like it's meant to be enjoyed. Wrestling is like any great kids show. Wrestling should have something for everybody. And when they got started with this, it was like, okay, cool. We can lean into the farce and we can start playing around with the idea of not having an audience. Because the best part about not having an audience is you don't have to pander to an audience.
Right.
So if you can let silences go, you can explore a character, you can explore a space, you can do things without needing that immediate vindication by the audience. And because you don't find out about it until well afterward, after the internet has decided whether or not to crucify you,
it's too late.
You don't know what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So you just have to explore that space.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that concept. So we get to, they did a bunch of shows leading up to it, and it was not like, it started off really good and then it kind of didn't get so great. And then they decided to have WrestleMania that they pre-taped over 2 nights. Broadcasting over 2 nights.
Yeah.
Doing strictly matches that were either in an empty arena or off-site on some sort of outdoor set or some sort of soundstage or what have you. So it was an experience.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, quick overall thoughts. We're going to go through each match and give like a sentence or two. And then at the end, we're gonna tell the people if it was worth signing up and watching it, or if our time would have been better spent playing virtual chess or something like that. So, overall opinions of watching 2 nights of WrestleMania, given the circumstances, given that it's been pre-taped, given that there's no audience, given that there's no like live band, given there's fireworks, like the usual hoo-ha that comes along with a WrestleMania. Overall, what did you think?
WrestleMania is usually too long. The idea of pushing it over 2 nights was actually much easier to stomach. I appreciated the fact that they cut out a lot of the fat that they didn't need to. And genuinely, as corny as this is going to sound, I got to spend 2 nights hanging out with you online watching something together, and I haven't spent time with anyone else like that who I haven't been living with in quite some time. That was actually a really welcome escape.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, absolutely. Like it was a really fun experience all in all. Could I pick apart matches? Yeah. I mean, and we will, hopefully not too much.
Not too much, but yeah.
But yeah, I think it was rad. What about you?
I liked that it was digestible. Like normally when we're watching Mania, it's like an 8-hour day. We're ordering pizza. We're ordering second round of pizza. We're drinking everything, and it's a Sunday night. So the next day is gonna fucking suck. But like stretching it out over 2 days was kind of nice and digestible. And the interesting thing, without the audience reaction, they can tell the story that they want to. Because like no one's booing the face when they're trying to go over and do their shit. No one's cheering for the heel when they're trying to like be an evil guy. They can tell the story that they want, so we can see the quality of the story that they're trying to say. Some of them are more successful than others, but like you get to perform without any of that expectation there. So like the audience does help in a lot of circumstances, but I feel like, if Roman Reigns came up in without people booing him the entire time when he was trying to go over as a face, he might have gone over as a face.
Right.
So I don't know. It was interesting. Unfortunately, next year they're not going to split it over 2 days, so we're going to have an 8-hour show, and it's going to be so long.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we'll figure it out next year, and this should be a single thing. But all right, let's dig into it. Let's do some quick hits. I assume you have the card up there.
I have the card with me. Did you see? There was a pre-show match. Cesaro
I didn't watch
versus
any of the
Drew
pre-show.
Gulak. Okay, so we don't get that one.
Nope. Skip the pre-show. Always skip the pre-show.
First match we saw was the tag for the Women's Tag Championship. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors. Jesus Christ, I didn't know that was their name. Asuka and Kairi Sane.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you think?
Perfectly serviceable match, not super exciting. Watching it with you means I got to see your daughter watch it, and your daughter should be the prime demographic for that match, and she bailed before the thing was over.
Yeah.
It's really hard to go out and be the first match in a WrestleMania in general. It's even harder to be the first match on a completely empty arena show. So good on them. But somebody had to do it, and I'm glad that they trusted them to do it.
I thought they did well for what they were doing. I appreciated that you could hear them shit talk, and coming off the gate, I think both teams did a really good job of shit talking each other. Like Asuka, whenever she yells in Japanese at the other people, it just cracks me up. She's just like, "Fuck you." She can curse as loud as she wants to because no one can understand it. I liked it. So next up, we got Elias and King Corbin.
Don't care about this match other than this begins the first of many moments of Foley art.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God.
The sound of a guitar in an empty arena crashing over someone's back is a ringtone, and I want it.
The hollowness of the sound and that flat smack and the reverberation of the strings, you don't get that, and that was the highlight of that match for me. Yeah. Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler.
I don't really remember much of this match, so
yeah, I don't either. Actually.
Yep. I think they need, if memory serves, it was rather slow, and I think they needed an audience to play off of. They're both really good performers, but nothing really stood out to me. Yeah. So nothing negative or anything else like that. Like, I don't remember it being bad in any way, shape, or form. Just kind of
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we got Sammy and Daniel.
Sami Zayn's outstanding, and he is his own audience, and I really appreciate that. And I want to see more of Shinsuke and Cesaro, so I'll follow Sami Zayn into the sun.
Yeah, I loved how it started with Sami just completely running out of the ring every time and getting into Daniel's face and then running out.
Yeah, I think, again, another one that I think they really need an audience for. Sami needs somebody to play off of.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh. The ladder match.
Yeah.
The ladder match.
This is worth watching, like any good ladder match. One, I appreciate the fact that they had an issue where they had 3 tag teams that were supposed to compete in the ladder match. It's too many people. Also, one of them, The Miz, Morrison's partner, was sick, so they had to figure out what they were doing. They used one representative from each team, which meant it was a 3-way ladder match. And all 3 competitors were super impressive, and it was really good.
So good.
And if it reminds me of anything, it's when you don't have an audience, what they need to do is be more exciting in the ring and create a faster match. The slower stuff just doesn't play to not having an audience. You need to be impressive, even when it's just you in the ring. Yeah. Worth watching, and absolutely maybe my favorite thing of that evening at the very least. But continue.
So many high spots. The ladder spots are always great, even without an audience. I think you're right. Anytime they get the big guys, it's always a slower pace, and we both kind of went off to get popcorn or went off to get something else because it was like, duh. Yeah, for sure. Speaking of slower, we had Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins.
First half of that match was boring as hell, and I think anything coming after that ladder match was going to crash and burn. The fact that they knew this, they let them have a crash and burn match that ended in a DQ, and then brought them back down, and then had the match that they should have had.
Oh, that was great.
That is an understanding of psychology of an audience that I wasn't aware that they had. Like, I wanted to believe that they had, and somebody back there, I assume it's Paul Heyman, definitely understood that, like, you got to cool everybody down to heat them back up again. Oh, and again, the sound of the bell hitting people, the sound of, just chair shots, and then Kevin Owens doing that spot off the highest point in the arena, which is off the top of the WrestleMania sign through a table. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, other than the edge, like, that was the only table spot that happened ringside.
Yep.
All WrestleMania, which is really impressive.
And the sound, again, the sound of the table just...
Chef kiss.
Yeah.
Chef kiss.
In an empty arena, because you hear the echo and just the room tone.
Yep.
So good. Okay. Big Strong Man and Gilbert.
Goldberg needs to retire, and I'm glad they put it on Braun because then they can actually have somebody else chase after him, and hopefully it'll be somebody cool and exciting, and they'll be able to cut promos against him. And I got nothing against Braun Strowman. Like,
he's great.
I think he's a little one-dimensional, but he looks great. He looks the part, and he's somebody to chase after.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Anytime you put a strap on,
WWE guy.
Yeah. Anytime you put a strap on that guy, I mean, I'm there for it.
I'm here for it. Right on. Good on it.
And then we have our first theatrical spot of the 2 evenings. This apparently took 8 hours to film, and 4 of those were just Taker wheezing. So we have The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a boneyard bullshit.
So I understand that if they've bothered to listen to this point, and I think maybe Marty has, or at the very least he'll fast forward to it, I'm going to give my hot take. I understand that he and Carlos both love this match over the Art Fight Slack.
You and I are the only ones who did not. Apparently.
So I'm going to apologize because I'm sure if one Keith Youngblood is listening, he's probably going to cry heresy on this, and that's okay too. One, let me get this out of the way. My personal feeling: Undertaker should have retired right after the second Shawn Michaels match. He's easily almost a decade past his shelf date. I haven't cared for an Undertaker match in forever. AJ Styles is great, but I think the use of the OC or whatever they're called now, I don't understand them. Well, yeah, he's got Gallows and Anderson, his like crew, and they're not the Bullet Club. They're something else or whatever it is. Anyway, it's knockoff enough that I don't fucking care. Yeah, and because they didn't expand anybody, like they had an opportunity to really expand the club or whatever it is.
Oh, with all those hooded figures like coming out.
Yeah, and I really thought that they were going to take a moment to expand the club.
Or the Brood. I thought like a new Brood the Bullet Club or something interesting.
Okay, so let's double back real quick. The Undertaker coming down like the American Badass, which is an old gimmick of his, blasting Metallica, but not Kid Rock, or Limp Bizkit.
Rolling.
You know what? I could have been really excited about that.
If that was the track that came down, I would have jumped up. That was the track that came down?
Right. I'd have been like, okay, we're doing this. But instead, what we got was Undertaker coming down, riding down the road on a motorcycle, showing up, trying to be tough and a badass and everything else like that.
Is this what you wanted?
Yeah, I just look. You know what this was? This is boomer porn. This is boomer porn. This is every fucking dentist who owns a Harley, what they think of themselves. Like, I've watched too much Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
I support the police. I've got the fucking Punisher hoodie.
Yeah.
Like, I live in a large city and I've never actually been hunting, but I own at least 3 pieces of camo. Like, lifestyle brand, man. Like it's these fake ass tough fucking dentists and accountants who want to be tough guys.
Yeah.
And Undertaker comes down in his fucking biker vest with his bandana and his leather pants, and
a weak ass Metallica song.
Metallica. It was a candy ass Metallica song.
Like
they didn't pay for the Metallica song past that one night, by the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when they re-showed that match on regular TV, it didn't actually have the Metallica song. But yeah, so
like when you pick an entrance song, you need something that has like a good hook from the beginning, like da 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 da, or like a glash, like something that grabs you. And all I heard was like smooth rhythm from load or reload era Metallica.
Yeah. The siren song of the 46-year-old white guy.
Yeah.
That's what this was. This wasn't for us. Like, please understand. Like, because please bear in mind, too, if this was a match between Taker and Kofi, this could have been directed by Jordan Peele. Like, because it's this side of a horror film.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I want to see that one.
No, I don't. I don't want to see this fucking dentist pretend want to be badass slowly chasing down a black guy through a fucking graveyard and then slowly beating him and throwing him off of things that he spends 46 minutes getting on top of. Like, I don't need this.
You didn't find the Taker climbing the stairs to be compelling content.
It took 2.5 minutes for him to climb a fucking ladder.
But he's the American.
You done made me do this.
He's the American
One
badass.
rung at a time. I'm gonna come after you. I'm gonna come get you. Like, it's like being chased down. Like, honestly, you know what it is? It's like if Arlie Ermy voiced the hungriest caterpillar.
Oh, shit.
Like, it's real imposing, but you know you're not in any real danger.
I ate me a cherry. I ate me a peach.
Right, yeah, like all you hear off in the distance is just, I tell you what, nuts, I'm gonna fuck you up. You better know that some point along the way, if you keep walking at a regular pace, I'm gonna never get you. I was just like, God damn, no.
And if you looked at the internet, people were comparing this to like the Matt Hardy thing, saying that like Matt Hardy walked so Taker and AJ could run. And I was like, what the fuck are we watching? You must have a different channel on because I don't get it.
I'd like to remind everybody that the bar that we're setting, by the way, the thing that they're comparing it to, Matt Hardy had a boat that he named Skarsgård. This is our bar. like, please know, Matt Hardy took like animals like a giraffe and claimed that the souls of former presidents were inside of them. Like, nowhere in this weird, like, Sons of Anarchy written by Kurt Sutter, like, GoBots ass version of an FX TV show that I watched, did I see any sort of creativity other than motorcycle guy tough, motorcycle guy show up on motorcycle guy play song by a band you recognize from when you were a teenager, motorcycle guy beat the crap out of a guy much younger than him, motorcycle guy control the underworld or kind of the underworld, motorcycle guy somehow overcome all odds and can't be stopped, motorcycle guy somehow has teleportation powers that we weren't aware of.
There should have been a lightning hit or something.
No, what it should have been is something that he used multiple times that I didn't have to spend fucking 6 minutes of my life watching him climb a goddamn ladder. What it should have been is him down on the ground and him going, boy, you think you can hide from me? And then teleport to the top of the roof and then have AJ Styles go, holy shit, where'd you come from? And then set the precedent that The Undertaker can teleport instead of us having him do this slow as. By the way, if you want a better version of this, you can watch the movie See No Evil starring his quote-unquote brother, Glenn Jacobs, as the bad guy as he hunts after Southern teenagers and overcomes all odds. We did this.
Yeah.
Like, I voluntarily have watched The Marine 4, and I'm telling you right now, it is a cinematic masterpiece starring The Miz over what I fucking watched that first night. And if you genuinely enjoy that and you're comparing that to the old school Matt Hardy TNA stuff, you are fooling yourself. The only comparisons are poor accents and the fact that it's filmed on a soundstage that involves some sort of background. You know what it looked like? It looked like it was filmed at Mar-a-Lago. It's the goddamn maintenance shed of a golf course.
Yeah.
It's like, literally, I was waiting for at some point along the way to see Bill Murray hunting fucking gophers and bushwood in this place. Like,
oh, Jesus.
I just... Yeah. It's bad, and they should be ashamed of it. And
it was
by
no
comparison...
good. No good.
Right, yeah, and like... No. No, fuck no. And frankly, I'll gladly watch it. I got the network for a couple more weeks at least.
Yeah.
I will gladly hop on a Zoom call. We can record another one of these, and I'll sit down with whomever, and you can try and watch this shit with me, and you can defend this fucking boring ass movie with me, because I don't understand how you defend it. It's bad. It's just plain bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Awful. All right.
Sorry.
So
do you have anything to add now that I've railroaded over that?
No, I agree
Okay.
100%. I do not understand what the rest of the internet was watching.
Damn it.
But there we go. I wholeheartedly agree. And it was a letdown for the first night. And we both left it kind of like, all right, we're going to do this again tomorrow.
Yeah. I love that we got done that match and you looked at me and were like, are you sure you want to join tomorrow?
All right. So next day, we start off with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Wow.
Yeah, super good.
Wow. Hazel watched it the whole way through. She was captivated. They were amazing. Rhea Ripley is amazing. Like,
yes,
that undercut. Holy shit. Like,
total swoon for one, and two, really, really, really great match. Well done, both competitors.
Yeah, it's great to see someone like Charlotte's size, and they play off very well against each other. Like, great way to kick it off. Let's see, Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley.
I sure do like Aleister Black's kick.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I
feel bad for anybody who has to take on Bobby Lashley. He's boring as fuck.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those matches that it was slower and it really needed something like an audience, but by itself it was just bleh.
Yeah.
Otis and Dolph Ziggler.
I will watch Otis in fucking everything. Everything.
Good. It was so good. I have no idea who the fuck Otis is, but like they played the lead up to the whole match, and I was like, all right, I'm emotionally invested in this for some reason. It was so good.
Not for some reason, because they literally they pandered out the shittiest announcer they possibly could to spend a good part of that match basically talking about how a fat guy isn't able to get an attractive woman at all, and leaned into it like he was a fucking, like he read lines from Revenge of the Nerds. Like he really did.
Yeah.
Like I would seriously expect him to be in an 80s movie and just be like looking off as, you know, as Chris Farley gets the hot girl at the end of fucking Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
And just having him in the back in his letter jacket just being like, wait, but no, he's fat and she's hot. Like, you can't make a Reese's cup out of fat guys and hot chicks. Like,
goddamn JBL.
So, fuck JBL and everything he stands for, and I'll brawl for all his ass. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, kids, you owe it to yourself. If you haven't watched Dark Side of the Ring, you should really go watch that. That Vice show is super good.
Yeah.
Anyhoozle, they did the Brawl for All match one the other night, and it's real good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next up, Edge and Randy Orton.
That has a lot of really good stuff in it and could have easily been. Do you have a runtime for that match at all in your description?
36.
You don't have to look it up.
36 minutes and 35 seconds.
That match was 20 minutes too long.
Yeah. If it was shorter, you still could have gotten your shit in. You still could have given us a tour of the Performance Center. When we were watching it, they were going into the back room where they have a lot of the props. We were hoping for cooler props, like old school stuff, like Honky Tonk's last guitar, like the urn, anything interesting. We didn't get that.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and it was exactly what it needed to be, and it needed an audience, and I think it needed to be a lot faster. But other than my complaint about it being too slow, really good spots by the guys, and a ton of fucking respect to both of them for
Edge can still get
a good match out.
Yeah,
and fucking I love when Randy Orton actually gives a shit, because he's really good when he gives a shit.
Yeah. I mean, he was doing great work. They were both doing great work. They just needed to stop.
Yep. All right. Anyway,
Street Profits versus not the Street Profits. Angel Garza Austin Theory with Zelina Vega. This was the tag match.
Yeah, this was the other tag match.
This was a lot of fun.
The only thing that I can say is I will watch Montez Ford do anything. Yeah, him screaming WrestleMania like a fucking idiot is one of my favorite things, and I hope that's the meme that they use. Like, I hope him screaming WrestleMania is the thing that they do for every promo for next year's WrestleMania. Is just him screaming it, and then them just doing just spot after spot after spot after spot, and then just the crowd screaming, and then him again behind, like. Literally, you could like ghost him in there, like that weird like shadow flag. As somebody plays the national anthem, and just have Montez Ford just going WrestleMania. I love that guy.
His energy is infectious. Like, I was excited.
Yes.
I had no idea who the fuck he was, and I got excited watching that match. Just like when he yelled WrestleMania, I wanted to yell WrestleMania.
I that's really where I'm at. Is Montez Ford is Bay, and I'll accept no substitutes.
So good. Next up, we had Bailey, Lacey Evans, Naomi, Sasha Banks, and Tamina,
and
Fatal 5-Way.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. You know what? I will say this. I am really impressed with how far Bailey's come as a character. I like that they're finally building the idea of there being a bit of a split between her and Sasha. I think it's about fucking time.
Yeah.
Naomi, I absolutely love.
Oh, she's awesome.
She's super awesome. I really can't wait for her to get another run. I really would love to see them explore her character a bit more.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of meat on that bone. And we haven't actually had her be able to cut a ton of promos that I've personally seen. I'm sure there are ones out there. I'm sure there are people who could yell at me, send me things. I would love to see more of her developing a character on the mic. Because
she's
really
great.
like her.
She's got great moves. You know.
Tamina, I've never really cared for, and I don't find her to be all that impressive. And frankly, in this new era of really impressive women's wrestlers, I think she's a step behind everybody else.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And as far as Lacey Evans goes, I liked it better when it was Liberty Bell, and I don't care for her. I don't think she's all that physically impressive. I don't like her character. I don't find her interesting. More importantly, I don't hate her. I just want to turn her off.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is exactly what you don't want. So, yep. Okay. Anywho.
Next up was the Firefly Funhouse match with The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and John Cena.
Yeah.
If we hated the Taker thing the previous night, we fucking loved this.
This was weird, and I'm unclear. Okay, so here's my only issue with this. Was it really a match?
I don't think so. It didn't feel like a match. It felt like
It's a really great segment.
Yeah, it felt like an extended segment, like I don't know how else to describe it.
Fucking wild.
Yeah,
I want more of it.
Yeah.
The idea of I saw a goddamn thing about how this is finally John Cena's heel turn. I'm like, oh god damn it! No, don't do this. Don't do this.
No. His John Cena's Instagram the next day was nothing but photos of Bray Wyatt.
I know. Bray Wyatt took over his Instagram. It was fucking genius. Yeah, whoever, I don't know if Cena was in charge of that. I don't know if Bray was in charge of that. Whoever made the decision to do that is really smart and really well done. And
it was
like that.
It was weird. It had nostalgia, which as Smarks always gets us. But it was just weird enough to just kind of hook you. And like Nicole doesn't know any of that shit, but it seemed like she was way more into it than the Taker thing.
She was super into it. And the idea, we talked about it afterward, and basically because it felt like kind of a fever dream, you couldn't look away.
Oh yeah.
And that was really the thing, is like, even if you didn't necessarily know all the references, you wanted to know what the hell was going to happen next, because it felt like it was just constantly escalating. By the way, can I quick aside? My favorite thing is the idea of them doing the old school 80s promos with Bray and Cena
Johnny
doing
Big
the
Muscles.
brothers. Yes, and Johnny Big Muscles, and just
My favorite part too. Just
that
going,
that felt like the most, and I know I'm wearing the shirt right now, it felt like the most Southpaw regional wrestling experience ever. Like, it really did. Like,
it was glorious. It was so fucking good.
Yeah, like, genuinely, if Bray Wyatt and Johnny Muscles had called out Chad Too Bad and Tex Ferguson for the tag belts, I would have been here for all of this. Like,
Yeah. I don't, it wasn't yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I wish that's what they were doing right now. I wish they were on a soundstage, literally just filming fucking
Weird
Southpaw as if it's Raw. Just South Raw regional wrestling and just fucking fill it in and do the thing. I'm here for all of it.
Yeah, like when we watched Glow, the revival show on Netflix, and there was like one episode where they showed just all of the skits that they would do on an episode.
Yes.
I feel like if they did like a Raw or a SmackDown, that was just all the weird skits that they did that like build characters and do story arcs and thing. I think they got a hit because whatever that Firefly Funhouse thing.
Yeah.
Fucking 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was something else after that, wasn't there?
Match of the night: Drew McIntyre and Bork Laser.
Yep.
It was 4 minutes and 35 seconds.
I'm good with that. Frankly, that's what that match needed to be.
Yeah, it was good. Drew looked great. I kind of wish there was a larger audience for that because that felt like a moment. Like that felt like a thing that had been building for years, and it felt like it's about goddamn time.
Yeah, I'm curious where they go from here and what happens next and what have you. So I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it. I'm here for it.
All right, Brandon. So, do you think over the 2 nights it was worth $9.99?
No. No, I don't, honestly. Because frankly, they're going to end up giving that away anyway on Raws and SmackDowns and everything else like that. But also, I think WrestleMania is a great experience for you to try out the network and see whether or not there's anything of interest there. But I think this one especially is not worth spending the $10 on.
Yeah.
I think you can be able to hop on YouTube at a certain point and it'll all be up there. And they're going to be looking for people to watch the regular thing, so they're going to show everything over again.
Yeah, the Firefly is definitely going up somewhere.
Yeah. So do I think that you should eventually enjoy the Firefly Funhouse stuff and what have you? Yeah, I do. I think it's at a certain point that's a super good idea. But other than that, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah. If there was going to be an event to get new subscribers, it's usually Mania. It's either Rumble or Mania. And I would
say I think you need to have friends. The way to get a new wrestling watcher is to get a bunch of people over a place, provide somebody with food, and put on the Rumble.
Rumble is great. Rumble's
a great way for you to find somebody that you like and to root for people and be able to get into things.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
I will forever sing the praises of Rumble.
I kind of agree with that because even a bad Rumble is a fun Rumble.
Right.
Yeah. And this as fun as the Firefly thing was, and as fun as Montez Ford running around yelling WrestleMania. I don't know if this is going to work for them again.
No, and the plus side with the Rumble is that some of the other matches are slower, so you have the ability to have people chit chat and ask questions about who is that and what have you. And you can have people casually watching. And because also now there's the women's rumble,
Oh yeah.
it's not just a bunch of sweaty dudes doing it.
Yeah.
You get to have introduction of a ton of things. So it becomes less of sweaty guy dude bros doing this and more of a wrestling is a lot of fun and is meant to be enjoyed. And, you know, I think probably if you want to sell somebody on wrestling, show them the John Oliver segment about wrestling being better than what you're into.
Oh yeah.
Because he sells it perfectly. And if you want to give somebody a fun experience of watching wrestling, watch the Rumble.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon. I think that's it. I think we've done it. We've given the people lots of stuff to listen
everything they ever wanted. That's what we did, Jamie. We gave them everything they ever wanted ever.
Absolutely everything. All right.
Yep.
Where can people find you, Brandon?
You can find me on Instagram at that guy Chalmers.
You can find me as well on Instagram, Jamie Noguchi, Twitter, Angry Zen Master, and wherever you find this podcast. And yeah, that's it. Bye.
Bye, kids. Stay safe. Stay the fuck inside.
Yeah.